here. Nice. Great. So we'll start with that intro.
With the
Yeah, with the
DJ.
chord. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a story. And my hope is that I'll use my best storytelling abilities. And as I tell you the story, put a little of my everything into my story. And because I have hopes that transpire deep within, I hope that one day you can take the story and you can tell the story to the best of your storytelling abilities, to the audience of your choice, the platform of your choice, in the forum of your choice. And you will take the parts of the story that you connect with the most. And there will be a process of transmission where you tell the story with your own creative liberties. And it becomes your story. Because everything that has ever been told to anyone at any given point in time is just an adaptation. That's right, an adaptation of something that's already been told. We'll call it a story. Journey with me. The year was 1996. The month was Tuesday. The letter was 9. And I was living in Montgomery. And I was married in union in front of church and state to the Queen of Montgomery. That's right. I was married to the Queen of Montgomery, the most beautiful woman in Montgomery. And wax figurines of Michelle Obama were melting in the Texas heat. And the Queen, well admired amongst all, the most beautiful woman in Montgomery, the best dressed, the most interesting idiosyncrasies. And she worked at the DMV. And one day, I found myself at the DMV. Ah, shit. Find yourself. whoever really finds himself anywhere. The fuck does that mean? I was at the DMV, and you should know something about the Queen. She was a Class A alcoholic. Oh yeah. At any given point in time, she would be drunk or hungover, suffering from a hopeless state of mind and body, seemingly. Bags under her eyes, but she was still beautiful, and I was married to her. And there at the DMV, working her customer window, a bus pulled up, yeah, Greyhound bus, license plate Saskatchewan, and out piled a convoy of individuals. And they all, every last one of them motherfuckers, was Kim Mitchell. That's right, patio lanterns, Kim Mitchell. Let's get a soda, Kim Mitchell. And they take a liking to the Queen. They start catcalling the Queen. One of them, a few of them, all of them, start adjusting that pouchy part of their faded blue jeans in the crotch area. I got something for this little thing, they might say. Didn't say. It was said. And although deep down I'm sure that there was a part of the Queen of Montgomery that felt a baseline of flattery, she was mainly and all around annoyed, understandably, because these Kim Mitchell motherfuckers kept going. Yo, that's the Queen of Montgomery. In some reason, in a Texan accent.
Sure. Fuck me.
Tell her.
She's the most beautiful woman in all of Montgomery. She's got like 1,000 outfits and the most beautiful collection of wine. And taking notice that they're taking notice of her, the Queen puts one of them back in 10-minute signs on her window. And her tambourine breaks. And she removes herself from the situation, goes to the break room, and I follow her. And the Queen goes in the staff bathroom. I follow her in. A little out of character for me, but I felt like she needed my help. I know what you're thinking, fuck off with all that. And there in the bathroom I am with the Queen of Montgomery, my wife. She takes a Mickey of polarized vodka out of her blouse. She takes a belt. She looks in the mirror, she starts crying. And she looks at me and says, baby, everyone thinks I have like 1,000 outfits. But the truth is, I only have 14. I just change several times a day. I said, baby, you change several times a day? She said, I change several times a day. I already knew that shit, but you know, I had to play the part. And she keeps crying. She takes another belt of that god-awful Canadian bottom shelf vodka. And she puts it back in her blouse and she leaves. No, wait. She almost goes in for an intimate embrace of touch. And I put my arms out, I extend my arms to the Queen. And just before we engage in what could have been a beautiful encounter, she pulls away, takes another belt of that vodka and pieces, she ghosts back to her job at the DMV. And there I am, standing alone, still in the washroom. And I realized at that moment, well, goddamn, my pants are down. So I fixed that problem to the best of my ability. And I go home. I go to the home that I built with my own 2 feet, my own 2 elbows, and a replacement tire for a wheelbarrow. For me and the Queen of Montgomery. And there I am, just waiting for the Queen to get home. sitting on the edge of our bed, our queen-size bed, double-size bed, strumming my guitar. I guess I'm a musician, yeah. I'm writing a song about people coming to terms with things. Birds migrating or some shit. Waiting for the queen to get home, just waiting. So the queen gets home! Yeah, she does. I expect her usually around 6:30 after work, drunk, angry, dissatisfied, agitated, discontent. Look at the clock, it's 5:45. Breaking routine. That's a little weird. But whatever, right? When the queen comes in, and she starts whipping into me about how my music is terrible. And she throws a magazine at me. Lifestyle magazine. Because we read magazines, me and the queen. And it's only at this moment I start to question my place in the marriage, but motherfucker, she's the queen of Montgomery. I'll take the abuse. Abuse me, please. There's plenty of people lined up to do that. Might as well be the queen. And the doorbell rings. Some like ding dong, or was it dong ding? I don't know. So I go to the door, and I look back for a moment, and the queen's passed out, drunk. And I open the door, and it's my ex-wife, Rachel. Red bob cut, flower dress, pencil skirt, semi-turtleneck, beautiful woman. And she's holding our child, and the child looks like a baby Kim Mitchell. And its long, stringy hair is so that it's wrapping the baby up in its own self-contained blankie. Cozy as shit, I tell you. And my wife, Rachel, my ex-wife, she looks at me. She gives me one of those looks, one of the looks you see in the movies. Like, damn, it's too bad that life circumstance prevents us from being together, because clearly there's something still there. But we can't. We want to, but we can't. But here's our baby. Take it. I said, take the baby, motherfucker, take it. All said in silent gestures, artless gestures. And I take the baby, baby Kim Mitchell, although we called him Dennis. And I look behind me, and there the baby crib has just appeared in the kitchen. So naturally, I put the baby in the crib. Rachel's gone. And I look over, and I forgot the queen had passed out, but there she is, and I remember very quickly on sight. And I think to myself, damn, a little early for the queen's pass out. Better go to the bank and borrow a bunch of money. Yeah. So there I am in Montgomery in the hot heat of the night, looking for this apparent night bank. And I do recognize and come to appreciate around me, there's like a rural sense of Mardi Gras happening. Men in deer masks and cat masks and devil masks on horses, holding steins of beer, high as the celestial skin will allow, and handsome men, hot men, playing baseball in the streets. And there in the distance, I see the crowd speaking in secret alphabets, holding up the queen of Montgomery, my wife, the queen of Montgomery. You might have heard of her. On a motherfucking throne. On a motherfucking throne. And she's still passed out, head on her shoulders. She's wearing all these gems and medallions and rubies. Motherfucking crowd is all chanting and shit. Long live the queen. Long live the queen. Long live the queen. Long live the queen. So like whatever. Gotta get to that night bank. And I see a distant ember glowing amongst this bucolic landscape. Yeah, that's what I call it, bucolic. And I go inside, because I'm a boss. And everything kind of looks like a 1970s airport. People are drinking coffee and beer, whiskey, brandy, smoking Winston cigarettes, American Spirit Yellow. And the distant sounds of that rural sense of Mardi Gras outside are just clouding the cacophony of noise in my head, but I push it away. I start eavesdropping while I'm in line. Talk to the clerk at the bank, get my money on. And I hear a young man talking to another young man. He says, yo, you gonna move out of Montgomery anytime soon? Other young man says, nah, there's a lot of spirituality here. And besides, I'm too tired most days to move at all, let alone move away. I'm gonna say it again. I'm too tired most days to move alone, let alone move away. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. And there I am in front of the motherfucking line. I look at the name tag of the gentleman, or should I say, younger man, who's ready to help me with borrowing the money I need. Young man, acne, bad goatee, which I suspect is only in place to activate a kind of mask to hide his boyish features. Look, his name tag says Rick, or Jim, but probably Rick. So I look at Stephanie and I say, Stephanie, Rick, can you help me? Rick says, my name's Jim, I can help you. And I say, all right, Stephanie, I need to borrow from the bank $10,000. Now make that $8,000. And he says, okay, and hands me a bag of money. Would you believe it?
Mark Ruffalo.
So I take the money and I leave the night bank. And by this time, the events outside the bank have died down, receded into the hairline fracture of the night. And there I go home, to my home that I built with my own 3 elbows for me and the Queen of Montgomery. And when I walk inside the motherfucking house, I said, when I walk inside the motherfucking house, my baby done all grown up. That's right, my baby grown up. There is an adult-sized Kim Mitchell in my house, cooking a cod fish, frying that fish, flash frying that fish on the stove. And he looks over and says, hey, Dad. I said, hey, Dennis. He says, you know where Mom is? I said, oh, she's just out getting worshipped somewhere. And I sit down on the motherfucking bed and I start strumming my guitar again, waiting for the Queen to get home. Waiting for the Queen to get home. Waiting for the Queen to get home.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, the song is called Patience.
As practice, right, Mr. Meat?